Good morning. Guys, I woke up so early this morning. I've been up for like hours and gotten things done. I don't know what's wrong with me. This is just lovely. I'm one of those weirdos who's like, I'm up at 4 a.m. This is great. I don't know what's happening. Anyways, I wanted to share with you guys a story I have shared with many people over the years, especially people that I work with overseas. It's about the day that I really lost my faith in authority. I was a kid. I was probably, I don't know, 9, maybe 8, 9. And it was at church. And it was the teaching that day was Jesus with the little children. And he says, anyone who harms a little one such as these, it would be better if you tied a millstone around your neck and, jumped into the sea. And I remember looking over at my parents because objectively speaking, my parents did not treat us well. Their ideas about parenting were, I don't know, based on how to cause as much psychological damage to your children as possible so you could control them. That seemed to be what was happening. And I had objected to this and been told that I was being ridiculous. This was the good and right way to do things. And further, my dad had spent 6 years studying to be a priest. I'm not sure what happened, but it was determined at some point that he did not, in fact, have a genuine call to the priesthood. And therefore, he was going to go have a family, enough children to have a baseball team, was his goal in life as a good Roman Catholic man who, frankly, should not have been allowed in a room with children, much less to father many of them. But the point being that he had this air of authority. He was not only the father, he had studied deeply. He was like a half step below the priest, right? He knew all the things. And it was, in fact, very common and the car ride on the way home from church for him to give his own little mini sermon regarding some reading that day, particularly if there was something he could use to reinforce his dominant position in his role of authority over everyone else. So I look over at my parents and I'm kind of thinking, like, did you hear that? Did you hear what Jesus said? In my head, this is what I'm thinking. And they're just sitting there like nothing. Like nothing. Didn't flinch, didn't look over at us like, uh-oh. Like there was just no acknowledgement at all, which for me, Jesus saying that was him saying, I'm on your side, little girl, which, I didn't have anybody on my side. I was like, cool, God's on my side. And yeah, I remember on the car ride that day on the way home, like there was no commentary like there usually would be. And it just, for whatever reason, it hit me like a ton of bricks. These people don't actually believe any of this crap. Like, sure, they're willing to use the men should be over the women kind of thing. That's very important. Hierarchy. What could be more important than that? The whole universe is created by hierarchy. Let me be in charge. But like, take care of people, be good to people, don't hurt children. Silly talk. See, that's why we have confession. God understands that we're not perfect and we're all just doing the best we can. And I didn't make the world. And if other people don't have what they need, they should go to God and figure it out themselves. I don't owe them anything. Like, really, that's these people, their understanding of the religion is so bass backwards. It's just, it's like a parody. Quite frankly, it really is. It's so bad. But at any rate, that really was the moment that I was like, there is no relationship between someone's education, someone's position, somebody's claim to authority and their them actually deserving any of that. Like if you really just don't even believe it, aren't following the teachings except as it pleases you and suits your ego, then you don't believe it. You don't believe it. If every time push comes to shove, you are like, well, God understands. God helps those who help themselves. Like if you can never, there's always some reason why the teachings of Jesus are not realistic or, can't be adhered to, or, there's always something. Well, then you don't believe it. You don't believe it. It's just that simple. So, and it's, of course, a point of frustration. People who don't respect authority just because they're an authority, don't always get well received, even when they're well behaved. Ask me how I know. But like I said at the beginning, this story is actually one that I commonly tell people that I'm working with, when I'm working with leaders overseas, to tell children what Jesus said. I'm always like, if you cannot do anything else for a child, because the sad truth is that there are untold number of children on this planet in horrific conditions that you can't just fix it. Like, I wish we could, if we took all the money we spent on war and put towards it, I bet we could. But, hey, what do I know? But, I'm like, if you can't do anything else for them, tell them, hey, I have a story about Jesus. Have you ever heard this? And tell them that Jesus says it's better for a person to tie a heavy stone around their neck and take a long walk off a short pier into deep water than to hurt a child, because at least then you will have told that child that God is on their side. And that may well make all of the difference. And if you can't do anything else for someone, at least you can do that. So anyways, that is my story of how I became anti-authoritarian. I was going to say such a pain in the ass, but it was far more than that. It took far more than that to create the spectacle of me. So anyways, I love you guys all so much. My friend Raju in Bangalore, India, we are now halfway there. Thank you so much, Andre. Andre shows up over and over and over again, just in life and as a good person. And so I appreciate them so much. But so we are halfway there. I need $40 more and we will have blankets for widows in India in cold weather. They get like rainy type stuff. They need blankets. So that before Christmas is our goal. If you can get us $40, we will get it done. And within a day or two, there will be some of the most vulnerable people on planet Earth who have blankets. And I think that's important. All right, guys, you have a fantastic day. I'm sure I will talk with you all again later. I love you so much. Go to my website, theupsidedownworld.com, and check out all of the goodies there, because you need more Rebecca in your life. All right, bye.